Good morning. Welcome to a neck and shoulder class, or it might be good afternoon depending when you're doing the class. You will need a couple of props, so ideally 2 yoga blocks, or you could use 2 containers, plastic containers, or even 2 quite thick books if you don't have yoga blocks to hand. I would also suggest a strap. So obviously I have a yoga belt, a yoga strap, but it could also be a cord or maybe a long towel, something like that could be used as an alternative. So as I always tell you, I'd like you to listen to your body. Obviously you're doing this class because you have some pain or discomfort or even just tension in your neck and shoulders. So it's important to listen. And if something doesn't feel okay for you, then you don't do it or you make your adaptation. So let's get going. You're going to start with your 2 blocks and we're going to bring the knees together. Actually, we're going to take the knees wide. Let's take the knees wide, big toes together. So we're going to come into a form of child's pose, but we're going to use our yoga blocks. So you're going to rest your hands on your blocks and you're reaching your fingertips to the top of your block. So you want to really stretch through the arms. And as you come down to your mat, it might be that you just move your blocks a little higher. So you're resting your forehead down and you're stretching into your arms. So your arms are reaching for your block. Top of the fingers are maybe just curling into that block a little. And we're just going to start to send our breath into our neck and our shoulders, down our spine, into our arms. Just being aware of the breath flowing in and flowing out. Let's take a few more breaths here. To release out, just push into your blocks and then walk your hands towards your knees. Let's draw the knees slightly together and we're going to rest back on our hands. Now if you want, you can take your blocks back and rest back on your blocks. So we want to squeeze the shoulders, we want to pull the shoulders back. So we get that opening into the chest. We're squeezing the shoulder blades. And maybe you want to push up into your hips as well. It's optional. Everything is optional. You know your body best. Slowly releasing down if you came up. Releasing from your blocks or from your yoga mat. We're going to remove our blocks and come into a table position. So our hands are under our shoulders and our knees are underneath our hips. Let's just take a little roll, a little circle here. Maybe it feels better just to shift the hands a little further forward for this. Again, you decide. You're drawing a big circle. And then we're going to draw that circle the opposite way. to centre, hands under the shoulders. We're going to roll through the tummy. So it's like a rolling tumble dryer, if you like, rolling around in one direction. So the hands and the knees are not moving. It's just that middle body rolling. Rolling through the spine, into the lower back, again into the shoulders a little, the middle back. And then roll the opposite way. And reversing. You can make the movement slower than me, or faster if you want. And release. Let's tuck our toes and head into down dog for a moment. So push back into the heels, plant the fingers down. And then we're going to take a walk towards our feet. We're going to take hold of our elbows and just take a little sway side to side. Release your arms, let them feel heavy. And take a slow roll all the way back up. So standing on your mat now, we want some distance in the feet. So ideally hip width apart. And we're going to work a bit more into our arms. So starting by drawing circles. And if this movement feels too much for you, you're going to bring your hands onto your shoulders and just do small circles. So two options, maybe big circles, maybe small. We want to keep that awareness of the breath, so we're not breathing fast or shallow. We're breathing into our tummy. And then we're going to reverse that. So drawing circles the opposite way. Just maybe checking in with our shoulder area, how it's feeling in this moment. Making any adaptations that we may or may not need. And release. From here, we're going to shrug up the shoulders and release them down. This time inhale. Exhale down. And again, inhale in. Exhale down. Let's take one more. Exhale down. Take the feet a little wider. And we're going to roll side to side with the arms, coming up onto your big toe. So just let the arms feel free. You're not holding them, there's no weight. They're just swinging of their own accord. Twisting through the spine a little and the hips. And you're going to come back to center. So this is where you will need your strap and hold it between the hands, kind of shoulder width apart. We're going to keep toes pointing forwards and we're going to start to inhale and bring the arms up. So to start with, just reach out of your lower back and your hips. So you're sending your hands up towards the ceiling. We're then going to bend and draw our right elbow towards our hip and send our left arm long. So you're stretching down that left side of the body. We're going to inhale, come back up. And we're going to exhale and bend in at that left elbow, sending that right arm long. Keeping the spine straight, as in we're not folding forwards or backwards. We're making a semi-C with our spine. And then we're going to come back, reaching up. You want to take your hands a little wider on your strap as you send your hands behind you. And remember, it's important not to dip into that back. So when we take our hands back, we don't want to be pushing our hips forward. We want to keep our lower body strong. Our core is supporting us. So taking the arms back. Breathing into any tightness that you may be feeling. We hold so much with our shoulders and our neck. And release. We're going to remove our strap, so just drop your strap to the floor. We're going to take the legs a little wider now, toes are staying forwards. We're going to send our hands behind our back. Maybe we're linking the fingers and squeezing our shoulders back, or if this is uncomfortable, you can hold on to your elbows. So moving the arms away from the body, with the fingers linked, if that's what option you're doing. We're going to inhale and we're going to exhale and fold forwards. Now you can also do this holding onto your elbows. The body, the head, upper body just feel heavy towards the mat. The hands are reaching towards the ceiling and moving your hands and arms away from your back. Finding your long breath. We're going to roll back up all of the way. Release. Take your right arm across your left. Squeeze it over. And turn your head towards your right shoulder. Turning the head back, releasing that side. Take your left arm across your body and turn your gaze to your left shoulder. You can always drop your chin down if you want to, or keep that head in line. Coming back to center, release that arm. Step your feet a little wider now. We want to twist through our spine. Everything is connected, so we want to still work the whole body. We're going to send the arms out wide. Let's inhale, take a twist of our right hand over to our left leg and our left arm reaching to the ceiling. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling the same way. Let's take one more breath. Rolling back up. We're going to send those arms along again. Inhale, we're going to exhale and twist the opposite way. Right hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Finding a long breath. Coming back up. Hands to the hips, we're going to step the feet back in. Coming down onto your mat, let's come back into our table position. So our hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips. We're going to inhale, reach up with our right arm. We're then going to thread that right arm through our left and drop our right ear down to our yoga mat. We're going to stretch the left arm towards the top of the mat. If this feels too much, you can always rest your right ear on a little bit of support. Breathe into that right shoulder. Your left hand is going to push you back into your table position. And we're going to do the same thing the other side. So we're going to lift that left arm up, stretch it up, and then exhale it through the right arm. It's the left ear that comes down to our mat. And we're going to reach our right arm long. So the bottom stays high. We're reaching with our right fingertips. So we activate that right arm. We're breathing into that left shoulder. So the left palm is facing upwards. Just finding our long breath. Sending that breath into any tension. Breathing any tension, just melting away with your exhalation. Our right hand is going to push us back up. So we're back in that table. Let's sit down to our heels and sit down and cross the legs if it's comfortable for you. If it's not, you take a little bit of support. You can always grab your block here or a small pillow. So let's take a twist. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind. Pull that right shoulder back. Bring yourself back to center. Let's go the opposite way. Pulling that left shoulder back. Keeping that spine long. And coming back to center. So either stay in cross-legged, or if you prefer, you can be kneeling. So you decide. If you're kneeling and it feels a bit uncomfortable on the knees, you can prop something under. You can always sit on your block as well. So you decide, or be cross-legged. We're going to send the hands out in front of us, and we're going to take the right arm over the left and bind the palms together. Now, if this feels too much for you, you cross the arms holding the shoulders, and you can just bring up the elbows, or you can hug in and draw the elbows down. If you're binding with the arms, remember the right is over the left. Palms are drawing towards each other, and we want to move the elbows away from the chest. So stretching into that right shoulder. As you release, we're going to inhale, send the arms wide, maybe gaze up. And as you exhale, you're going to push your spine behind you, palms come together. We're going to inhale, arms wide. We're going to exhale, pushing the spine behind you. Let's do one more. This time bend at the elbows, squeeze the elbows back. And as you exhale, round your arms around you, tucking in the chin, rolling slightly down. And rolling back up. Send the hands back in front of you. This time left is over the right, or you're changing the cross of holding the shoulders. So we're going to bind the arms once again. We want to draw the elbows away from our body. Breathing into that left shoulder. Let's take one more breath here. As you release out, let's take an inhale, reach up. Exhale to the heart center. And an inhale, reach up. And then exhale, release the arms back down. So if you're not already there, we're going to just take a cross of the legs. Want to make sure we work into our legs as well. So let's send our legs wide. You may want your block. And we're going to take a little walk forwards. So maybe our head comes to our block and we rest down. So we get that lovely stretch in the back of the legs. You can always bring your elbows to your block. Feels quite nice to put the thumbs into that third eye point. We want to make sure we're activating the legs, so the toes are reaching upwards and pushing the heels away. Sitting evenly on the glutes. As you inhale, just feeling the coolness of the breath as it comes into the body. As you exhale, you just feel that slight warmth of the breath as it leaves the body. And let's take 2 more breaths here. Rolling slowly up when you're ready. So we're going to cross back into our legs. And we're going to work a little more into our shoulders and our neck. So I want you to be very mindful of this next practice. It's using your breath. And sometimes when we use our breath in a certain way, it can make us feel a little lightheaded. Also make sure you haven't just eaten. With your yoga practice, you should always leave 2 hours at least before practicing yoga after eating. So we're going to be bringing our hands onto our shoulders. I'm going to just talk you through it first of all. We inhale through the nose and we exhale the same way. But we're going to be doing this while twisting the body. So it's an inhale in and it's an exhale as we twist over to our right side. Our hands are staying on the shoulders. So and you're going to continue in that way. So we're really stimulating all of the energy flowing up the spine. The energy moves in a circular manner working all the way up. So we want to be mindful. As I say, it's quite energizing. It can feel a little too much, so do take care. If it feels too strong, you can just take an inhale and a slow exhale and then come back. So you can do it in a slow way. So you decide. Let's go. And you're really pulling your right shoulder back as you go. You really want to get that twist in the spine. Take one more breath and we're going to come back to center. Well done. So let's do that the opposite way. Again, be mindful. Just take a moment before we move on to the other side. When you're ready, we're going to do the same thing on the left side. Coming back to center, just release the arms, close the eyes, and just take a moment here. How does the spine feel? Can you feel that shift in energy, shift in stagnation? And when you're ready, we're going to come on to our backs. So do have your yoga belt to hand, coming all the way down. Taking a bend at the legs. And then I'm going to get you to grab your block, if you have that to hand, or maybe you're using a container of some sort, or if you don't have anything, you can just do this without anything behind your head. Your block is going to go behind your head. Make sure you haven't got a hairband digging into your head like me. And then push your lower spine into your yoga mat. And we're going to cactus the arms. So you're bending at the elbows. You keep the legs bent, or if you want to, you can send your legs long on your yoga mat. So again, it's going to depend how you feel, particularly in the lower back. We're going to take a roll of the head over to the right side. So you're pushing the right side of the head into your block. It should feel quite nice. Relax the arms. Maybe just finding a pressure point on that right side and holding there. Taking a very slow roll back to center. And then move over to the left side. Once there, just pushing into your block very slightly. You stimulate the pressure points in the head to release any tightness or tension. Come back to center. Removing your block from under your head, and just take a link with your fingers and place your hands under your head. We just want to stretch out the spine a little more, so let's take a bend into our knees. Knees, feet hip width apart. And then let the legs fall over to your right side. You have the option of picking up that right heel and placing it on the outer edge of that left knee. Just makes it a little stronger. Elbows are going to stay on the floor. We're not lifting the elbows. Let the face and the jaw just soften. Release that side, let the knees come back to center, and then fall over to our left side. We're going to maybe pick up that heel again, taking that stretch a little deeper if it feels good. Releasing. Now just to finish, we're going to do another neck stretch. It's completely up to you. If you don't want to do this, you can just rest in Shavasana. Those of you that have been practicing with me for some time, you're used to this asana. It's where we take our yoga belt around the back of our head. So make sure it's on the middle of your head, it's not on your neck. And then you put your foot into your belt. Now you need to adjust your belt so it fits, so your leg can be straight. You then relax your opposite leg down on the mat. Doesn't matter what leg you choose. So my belt is not on my neck, it's around the middle of my head. My leg is straight. This is not going to be comfortable if your leg is bent. You want your leg straight. Make sure there's no buckle or anything digging in your head. And then once you're there, your arms and palms are facing upwards. So the idea is your foot is supporting your head, which is very heavy. So we want to let our foot take hold of that head with no resistance. So you need to just let the head go. As I say, if this is not for you, you can just take rest in your Shavasana. If you are taking the neck support, you might like to change your legs so the opposite foot is in your strap and your opposite leg is straight on your yoga mat. Remember, there's no weight in the shoulders or the arms. The foot is supporting your head. It feels quite nice just to close the eyes. You can stay here for as long as you need today. Maybe taking a few minutes in Shavasana at the end of your practice. I hope your neck and shoulders feel better for the practice today. And if you want to find out more about my classes, you will find me at angelyogasurrey.co.uk. Have a wonderful day. I'm here if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat soon. Lots of love from me. Namaste.